It's your girl, Ginger, and you are officially in the Gingerhood. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, I need you to do so right now by clicking that subscribe button. Give me thumbs up, leave comments, all your thoughts, feelings, emotions down below, and don't forget to hit that like button and share. Tell a friend, pass it on to your friends, because we can be friends. We can do this each and every day right here on YouTube on Ginger's Way, okay? Now, this is my coronavirus update because I have been trying to keep everybody abreast of what's been going on, not through YouTube, but on my Facebook and also on Hits 92.3, whole nother story. What I want to say is, I told you so. I told you so. For those that follow your girl on Hits 92.3, please, 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 pay more attention. I have always been heavy into politics, even though I do not vote any longer. But I have always been heavy into social awareness, world news, things like that, and how things affect us as Black people and how they affect this country. I go above and beyond. I'm not an internet historian, meaning I don't just take something that I saw on the internet and run with it and report it. I actually do the research. And I don't do the research based on the United States of America. I also do my research abroad. Because if you do not know, media outlets abroad will report media totally differently than what we would get here in the United States. So, a little bit about that. So with that being said, I told you guys so. I told you from the very beginning when this coronavirus was running rapid in China that this will become a pandemic here in the United States. And for the people that know I told you so, you can give me them thumbs up in them comments below like, yeah, your girl is right, because I did warn everyone. Aside from the warning about this virus, stating that the virus would be a pandemic and everyone would have to quarantine, aside from that, I have been urging people for years to prepare, prep, plan, have an emergency plan, have food on standby just in case, because you never know what's going to happen. And when I mean have food on standby, I don't mean go grocery shopping and buy a whole bunch and then that bunch that you put aside is your emergency bunch, but then you eat it. I'm talking about having food that you can put away, that you do not touch. In the event of a situation or a catastrophic emergency or anything that's going on, even very similar to this pandemic here, you are okay. You have food set aside. You're not like those other people running into the supermarket, going crazy because you can't wipe your ass. Okay, so prepare, have things. Let this be a lesson. Let this be a dire warning, especially to those of us that follow the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. We see the signs. So because we see the signs, activate your faith and prepare. Faith without works is dead. Prepare, okay? Start stockpiling, have things aside for situations like this. Now, we're in the middle of the pandemic, and if you are anywhere in the United States, 9 times out of 10, your state is being quarantined. Your state is being told to shelter in place. How are you guys managing? How are you making it? How are you hanging in there? I can imagine that it could be stressful. The kids are not in school, and then here in the state of Georgia, the government just put it out there that the children will not be returning to school for the remainder of the school year, even though I said that too. I said this weeks ago. And I also said that wear your mask. I told everyone to wear a mask. Do not listen to what the news and media say, because at the end of the day, they don't want to cause a panic. Get your mask. I told everybody to get your mask, and now they're saying you might want to wear a mask. And guess what? For those who might want to wear a mask, you might can't find a mask, or they're on back order and you are waiting for them to be delivered. So, and moving forward, just prepare. Have these things on standby once all this blow over, because I do understand that now it will kind of be hard to begin to stockpile because everything is kind of empty. People all over are scrounging around for toilet paper. And you hear some people say stuff like, oh my God, what's the big deal? Y'all getting the wrong stuff. Y'all getting toilet paper. That's the wrong stuff. How is that wrong when at some point you're going to have to wipe your butt? Like, I don't understand. Yes, there's other things you should be buying alongside of toilet paper, but you definitely need toilet paper. Like, if there is an order, a shelter-in-place order, you never know when that's going to change. You never know when that shelter-in-place order will turn into, and you cannot leave at all. So when that happens, or if that happens, what are you going to do? Now, granted, don't get me wrong. I'm quite sure you got some old T-shirts and cloth or something that you could use. But it's kind of like, why wait for that to happen? So moving forward, guys, what I urge is that please just begin to prepare and prep, because you don't know what's going to happen from one day to the next, okay? I've been munching on these pretzels too, by the way. And shout out to Snyder's. The other thing I want to mention is the N95 mask, okay? So if you have N95 mask and you may only have a certain amount and you've worn them all, do not discard them. There is a way that you can reuse them and it will still serve its same purpose. So there's two things you can do. Now, on the outside of this mask, it is picky. It got lint, if you can see it from the side, lint and stuff all on it. This is just one of my mini masks. And the inside have tons of lipstick. My lip gloss. I'm a lip gloss junkie, okay? What I do every day when I take these masks off, and this is the only one, I have several of them, of the N95s, I wipe them out as best as I can, and I spray them with alcohol, and I leave them out so that they can be sanitized and disinfected. And if any coronavirus or COVID-19 is on here, the alcohol will definitely kill it, okay? Another thing that you can do to make sure that you can reuse your mask again, I see a lot of people wearing the hospital mask. Don't get me wrong, the hospital masks are okay. They are not, some of them have filters, some of them don't. So you want to make sure that aside from it being layered, that it also has a filter. Some people assume that layers equal filter, and that's not always the case. You want to make sure you have some form of carbon filter in there, and if not a carbon filter, in my video below, I will leave the description in the box below, I show you how to do a DIY mask, and you can use a simple eye mask from the dollar store and coffee filters. Okay, yes, the same little things you're putting your coffee pot to pour the coffee beans in, that coffee filter will serve as a filter to help eliminate the risk of getting contaminated, or catching the coronavirus or any type of germs that you don't need to catch. Okay, so that's one way. With the N95, once you spray it and you sanitize it I use pure alcohol. That's it, alcohol. You can also add a coffee filter in here. Even though the N95s are the government recommended masks, they do work very strongly. They are the bomb, okay? These are what your health professionals use. You can put a coffee filter inside of this one also, just as an added layer of protection. If you feel like since you wore it and it's not going to do the job anymore, you can put a coffee filter in here and you can wear that as well. What I started doing too, I ordered these, and I will leave the link in the description box below. I ordered these from Amazon. These are face masks, and they are layered with material. They have 3 layers of material on this. It does not have a filter. But what I do with these, I started putting these over my N95s that I've worn already, just as an added layer of security. I am not a N95 mask specialist, okay? Just using my common sense a little bit. Even though I was told, and I've done the research, that you can reuse the N95 mask, the problem though is not that the filter is no longer working once you've worn it. The problem is the contamination that's on it from you taking it on and off. So that's why I say use the alcohol, spray it. I spray the whole thing inside and out, and now when I wear it, I put this over it just as an added protection. Okay, so that's how it looks when I wear it. So that's something that you can do as far as your mask concerns if you don't have many. Another thing that I want to let people know is that the coronavirus can live in the air for hours before it descends onto surfaces. Okay, now the numbers that they're saying cannot be proven, but these are the numbers that they know thus far. That so far the coronavirus can live in the air in confined spaces for up to 9 hours, which means if you've been home, you're in your house, and someone came to the door and gave you a package, or someone came in the house, the maintenance man, whatever. If they have been exposed to the virus can then live in the air particles above for 9 hours before it descends onto surfaces, and then it will live on surfaces as well. What I've been doing in my house, and this does work, is I have a spray bottle. Do me a favor, can you get that spray bottle out of my pocketbook, please? And I've been keeping my spray bottle of alcohol with me now too. I was only traveling with hand sanitizer and your basic things, but I've now been oh, there we go, right there. I've been taking my alcohol with me as well. I have one of these. This one is 70% isopropyl alcohol. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, but you get the point. It's that one. The 70 is no longer in here. I just kept the bottle. This is now 90% alcohol in here, but this works as well. So what I've been doing is in my house, I literally just spray it like a mist all in my house, kind of like air freshener. I just spray it throughout my house. I spray it all in the air. I spray my curtains, in the bedrooms, bathroom, closet, laundry room, all over. I spray this in the air for a couple seconds in each room. I do that once again to kill the virus that is up in the air. That way it cannot descend and land on the surfaces because I killed it. So that's just something that you may want to consider doing in your own house. I'm not a scientist. It's just my common sense, okay? We know alcohol kills the coronavirus. Also, before people come in and out of my house, especially myself, because I also work for the state and I also do radio, and I'm always around people. I do hair, so wigs are coming in and out. I spray everything. When I go to Walmart and I come home and I have the groceries, before I come in, there's a bottle of alcohol that sits outside my door, and I literally spray everything down, because we have to remember, not only is the virus in the air, it can also live on surfaces. So I spray everything as best as I can before I come into my house. I spray my entire body down, my feet, everything, under my shoes, my hands, everything before I come into the house, because again, the virus can live on surfaces. It's on your clothing. I don't care what they say. For a group of people who can't tell you how or why, trust me, it's everywhere, okay? Let's just act like it live on everything, okay? Which it actually can, because we know it can live on surfaces, or else it would not be listed on the back of your surface cleaners since 2009, okay? So, again, you want to take advantage of this. Mist your house. If you don't have a spray bottle, use an old spritz bottles. Ladies, I know you got an old spritz bottle somewhere in your house, or some type of hair product that has a spray pump on it. Dump it out, wash it out, pour your alcohol in there, and spray. You don't want to spray bleach all throughout your house, because bleach will also kill, or the fumes can help it can help lessen or weaken your immune system to fight off viruses. So you don't want to use bleach too much. I use alcohol, and bleach is just strong as hell. Alcohol is strong, but it's not as strong as bleach. So take advantage of it. This is what I do. It's another way to help kill the COVID-19 virus that's in your home. Mist your air. Okay, once you mist your air, then I go ahead and we have the disinfectant wipes and things like that. After we clean everything, we wipe everything down. This is something that you have to do on a regular basis. Whenever you step outside and whenever you come back in, you need to make sure you are spraying your air. If you have your air conditioner units running, do not assume that your filters are blocking the transmission of virus. Okay, you have to remember, if you live in an apartment building, you may have someone above you or below you, and you're sharing the same air ducts. Okay, it may not be the same system connected, but it's the same air. I'm quite sure there's a duct you're not sharing the same duct, but the vent that's attached to the separation, that's attached to the separation between your floors or between your walls. It's the same airspace. So just keep that in mind. You want to constantly spray your house, wipe things down to keep everything copacetic. Okay. What's another thing I wanted to think about for the corona? Oh, also your vehicles. Now, I do wear my mask. This goes with the vehicles. I do wear my mask when I'm out in public, meaning when I go inside Walmart, Publix, any type of store, I have my mask on. Okay. When I am outside, I take my mask, just flip it down, and I'm outside. Once I get in my car, I just started doing this because after realizing that this virus is on your clothing, it lives on surfaces, and it's in the air, and you're touching bags and stuff and bringing them in. I don't know if it could jump off a bag or not. All I know is it jumped off of something and got into a human, and here we are today. So I'm just not taking any chances. So now when I get in my car, I spray my car with alcohol as well. I'm always disinfecting my hands, using my hand sanitizer when I touch my steering wheel, the whole 9 yards. Is that serious? Okay. So I now spray my car, with alcohol as well. When you take your garbage out and you put your garbage into your vehicles, or if you put them outside in your trash can, you bring your trash can, and listen, you don't know. Hell, they don't know. I just spray everything down with alcohol. Okay? Better safe than sorry. What's another thing I wanted to discuss real quick with you guys? Oh, okay. Now let's talk about this virus living on surfaces real quick. Now, we were first told that it's highly unlikely for the virus to live on surfaces, right? That's what we were first told, even though I never believed it, because they also said they had little to no information. Do I believe that? I'm a little iffy about that, but I'd rather stick with that answer versus trying to figure out if they're lying or not. So I'm going to stick with they have little to no information and just treat it accordingly by using my common sense. When they said that the virus is highly unlikely to live on surfaces, I told you guys even then I did not believe that statement coming from the CDC. I did not think it was accurate at all. You guys remember the cruise ship with the passengers that was coming in, and then they wanted to depart, I think in California. They said no, then they brought it somewhere off of Georgia. Wherever this ship was, all of those passengers that were on the ship, all of them, I think maybe minus 2 or 3, but all of them tested positive for the coronavirus. It might be less than that, but 9 times out of 10, the point I'm making is all of them pretty much had the coronavirus. Okay, you guys remember that. Okay. Those people have been off that ship now for about 23, 24 days, okay? The ship has been empty. No one's on the ship, not a worker. It might be a mouse or a roach, but as far as people, there has been no people on that ship at all. They went on this ship a couple days ago just to check the surfaces to see if the virus is still active, and the virus is still active on the surfaces and the walls of the ship. And we're talking 20-something days later after everyone debarked. I'm just saying. So if it's been tested, the ship's been tested, and the virus is still found very active on this ship, then hello, you can't tell me that you know exactly how long this stuff lasts when it don't last. You cannot give me those numbers. So this is why I'm saying use your common sense. Hell, like I said, they say it can last 9 hours up in the air. Hey, it's a number to start with. I'd rather spray and keep, every time I think about it, I'm walking through this house spraying with alcohol just to be on the safe side. Okay, so even the strongest of disinfectants that the hospital used to disinfect surfaces and the spray in the air, it only lasts for 2 days. So we have to use our common sense, and when it comes to media, you have to learn to listen for what's not being said. That's the number one rule in media. You have to hear what's not being said. Okay, and I've been doing that from day one. I do that period in life. That's what I do. I always listen and pay attention to what's not being said. The other thing I also told you guys to not believe was when they said that the only people most susceptible to get this COVID-19 is the elderly people and people with underlying issues. I told you guys I do not believe it because, again, they keep saying novel COVID-19, novel coronavirus. The word novel means new, little to no information. So, therefore, you can't tell me who's susceptible and who's not because you don't know. Remember? It's new. So, you can't tell me who can catch it and who can't. So therefore, I'm not buying that. That's cap up cookies. I never believed it from day one. And the problem with that statement is people run around and they believe they're invincible because they clearly said the people that are highly likely to catch it are those that have underlying issues and the elderly. Which you got people that say, oh, they said only these two groups of people. No, never believe that. Now you have people of all ages catching the coronavirus. You have people that are dying, children dying, and it's sad. Always hear for what's not being said. Remember, they're going to always do the bare minimum to eliminate panic. Less panic as possible. That's the goal of the media, and I get it and I understand. So this is why we as individuals have to use your common sense and listen for what's not being said and prep, plan, and prepare for that alone, okay? The last thing I wanted to touch on regarding this virus was, I got it. Here's the last thing I want to bring to you guys, to your attention, guys. So, everyone's been crying about martial law. Martial law, martial law, martial, martial, martial law, martial law, martial, martial law, martial law, okay? Listen. Yes, martial law can be a huge deal. Hell, the fact that we're in this pandemic and have to implement the precautions that are being implemented across the United States of America is a huge deal. Let me just break down why martial law can be an issue. But martial law within itself is not a problem. You cannot jump to all the videos and movies you see where they implement martial law, then you got the world against the martial law. No, that's not how that works. Martial law is only activated when we're under a national emergency and FEMA is now your go-to government per se over the country, okay? Now, martial law is not an issue. The National Guard is not an issue. The only time those things become an issue is when they say, hey, no one leave the house anymore. Everything is shut down. Walmart is closed. Publix is closed. Piggly Wiggly, wherever you live is closed, okay? And you don't have no food. Or you still running around trying to wipe your ass because you ain't got no toilet paper. That's when martial law becomes a problem. Because if you ain't got no food in your house, what you going to do? You're going to go out and try to get some food for your family. And ain't nobody going to tell you what you ain't going to do when it comes to feeding your kids. Kind. Because ain't nobody going to tell me what I can't do for my kids. I'm like my folks. If my kids hungry, I'm snatching the dishes out your kitchen. Okay? But my kids are going to eat. And it means necessary. So if everybody have that same mindset and everybody is outside going crazy because they're starving and there's no food and the helicopters ain't dropped that little care package to your crib yet, everybody's going crazy. That's when the National Guard and martial law becomes a problem. When you're out in the streets trying to get food and supplies because everything is shut down and you did not prep, plan, and prepare and you do not have it. Now you're out there with everybody else causing havoc because you don't have in your own house. And I get it. I understand. Because ain't nobody gonna tell me what I can't get from my kids. Ain't nobody gonna tell me stay in the house when I got some screaming babies hungry. I'm gonna be out there trying to find some food who can cook. I'm gonna get the food for my kids. Okay? But I prep, plan, and prepare, so I don't have to do that. But that's why and how martial law will become a problem. How do you avoid being a problem? Prep, plan, prepare. Then you don't have to worry about being out there, when you're not supposed to be, if it turns into that. I don't see it turning into that, not for this situation, but it will, but not for this, not for the corona. It will come in the future, but not for this. This is just the warning for us to prepare for what's to come, the bigger picture, okay? So don't freak out about being under martial law. Don't go crazy. There's no need. Now, if you are home and you're not out there acting a fool and everybody's going crazy, they're looting and all of that is going on, and you're in your house but trouble come to you, then yes, you can fall victim to being out there and being in the hands of martial law. If you're trying to defend yourself, defend your property, defend your, family, then yes, I can see that. Otherwise, if everybody prep, plan, and prepare and bunker down and lay low, you'll be okay. Okay? So those are the COVID-19 updates that I wanted to say. Oh, and by the way, this is something that I found very interesting. Google Translate, if you have not heard, you're hearing it now. Google Translate, they have a translator on Google, of course. If you type in COVID in English, it translates to Kobe in Hebrew. Isn't that ironic? And the other ironic part is Kobe Bryant, him and his daughter are buried at their family's estate in Corona Del Mar in California. Look it up for yourself. And if I will leave the details in the link in the description below. I found that to be very ironic. I don't consider anything a coincidence. I do believe the Most High is really giving out these signs here. I'm not saying he was the, what they call it. No, what did they say? He was the pawn, or he was the sacrifice. I'm not going down that road. However, I do believe the Most High gives us signs for things. And again, I pray that their spirits are at peace. I definitely want to give a special shout out to any family members that are suffering at this moment, that are going through the coronavirus. If your family has fell victim to it, my thoughts, my hearts, and my prayers are with you guys. I pray that each and every one that's watching this video, if you have not come into the truth as to who the Most High is, I pray that you do. I pray that you open up that Bible and learn the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High while you still can, while you're able to, while we as the Hebrew people are around and can be found. Learn the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. These are dire moments. The clock is winding down, and it's time for us to get serious as best as you can. If you've been lukewarm, and I've been guilty of it, it's time to tighten up. Get with these laws, statutes, and commandments. My hearts, my thoughts, and my prayers, again, are with anyone who's fallen victim to this horrible virus. I have relatives who are fighting, fighting for their lives. So, the Most High, is having his way. The Most High's will be done. I believe they're going to pull through, so my heart, thoughts, and prayers are with them. Think about your family. If you do not have to go to work, if your job does not entail you saving a life, please stay home. It's not to say that you're fearful, because I'm not fearful, but I'm going to always be smart, because I have my family to look out for. I have my children to be here for. Just think about that. I hear a lot of people saying things like, oh, I don't have to do that. I'm covered in the blood. I'm this, I'm that. Yeah, all of that is great. But if you believe in the scriptures, and if you have faith like the scriptures say, then we ought to be paying attention to the signs and wonders and preparing. That's all I'm saying. We have to use our common sense. I have faith that the Most High tells me to use my common sense. I have faith in what the Most High say. I know I'm protected. I know I'm covered, because I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, to be sure of that. And if by any chance, after all the precautions I'm taking, I fall victim to it, then it was the Most High's will. But I don't believe in sitting back and absolutely doing nothing, okay? So take this, serious, please. If you have not picked up the phone and talked to your loved ones and tell them that you love them, pick up the phone and tell your loved ones that you love them. If you have not yet shared the law, statutes, and commandments with someone, pick up the scriptures and show them, let them know who they are according to the scriptures, like while you can. Okay, so again, this is my coronavirus update. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you have not yet moved into the Gingerhood, I need you to do so right now by clicking the subscribe button below. I would love to have you part of my hood fam. Don't forget, ring my bell for notifications so you know when I post all the videos, you get them first. And give me them thumbs up, all them likes, and leave your comments below. Okay? Again, stay safe, stay loved, keep the Most High first, learn the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Okay? Until next time, it's a beautiful day in the Gingerhood, but it's Ginger way, baby.